All right. Well, let me tell you, that is a great way to start a press conference, huh? It is no doubt the best start to a business meeting I have been a part of in a long time. So it may be cold outside, but it's definitely warm in here. And the band and the cheerleaders and our dance team and our mascot certainly fired it up to get ready. So let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you, guys. Great job. Great job. So welcome here to a truly historic occasion for UIC. You know, on behalf of everyone associated with the university and Flames Athletics, you know, we thank you for joining us here today for what will no doubt be a great celebration. And I use that word intentionally because this is really a celebration of a lot of hard work by a lot of good people over a very long period of time. My name is Frank Cuervo, and I'm the Deputy Athletics Director here at UIC, and I have the honor of being your MC here for this today's festivities. And now, before we get going, I'd like to recognize many of our 300 student athletes and our nearly 100 staff members, coaches, head coaches, assistant coaches, and support staffers who work every day on behalf of UIC and to make sure that we're positioned to be as strong as we can be. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, as you look around, you may have noticed that the number of student athletes here today is a little bit lighter than that 300 number I mentioned. Now, it's no doubt that they're across the street in class, right? So we've got a pretty smart bunch here. You know, some of you may know, and Commissioner, this may be new information to you, 91% graduation rate, 3.4 plus GPA, and all these other great outstanding accolades. Well, I think they got together and did the math and figured out that if the chancellor, the athletics director, and the commissioner of our new league are all in the same place, there's no way they could get caught skipping class to be here. So no doubt they're across the street doing what they need to do, and we'll certainly share this news with them in the very near future. Finally, we'd like to welcome everyone throughout the country and around the world watching on ESPN Plus, on the Valley, on ESPN. Certainly an opportunity, a broadcast opportunity we'll all become very familiar with here in the coming months and years. You know, heading into this year, it was already shaping up to be a pretty big one for the Flames. You know, as we celebrate the 40th anniversary of UIC's arrival to the highest level of intercollegiate athletics competition with the transition to Division I in 1981. You know, as I mentioned before, that was the culmination of decades of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, you know, poured into the development of an athletics program, which at the time was just simply known as Chicago Circle. Well, a lot of things have changed, and now over 14,500 days later, the UIC Flames are a brand that's not only known throughout the Chicagoland region for certain, but coast to coast, across America, and across the globe as a leader in the classroom, in the community. And I know as our coaches and our students and everyone else would attest to, you better believe they're known on the fields of competition. So that's certainly something to be very proud of. So today, as we have the opportunity to celebrate and reap the fruit of that labor, you know, we join one of college athletics' elite conferences, elite groups, the Missouri Valley Conference. How about that, huh? So with us here today to share some comments and help usher in that new era at UIC are three exemplary leaders who are known as true visionaries in their respective fields. So over the next 30 minutes or so, we'll hear first from UIC's sixth chancellor, currently in his 7th year at Chicago's Public Research University, Dr. Michael Amiridis. Then we'll have the opportunity to visit with first-year Commissioner Jeff Jackson of the Missouri Valley Conference. And then finally, Director of Athletics Michael Lipitz, in the midst of his 3rd season here at UIC, will share his thoughts on the impact of this move and the overall vision for UIC and the Flames as we move forward. So as I mentioned earlier, you know, we have an athletics program that's comprised of over 400 strong with our student athletes and staff, and that doesn't stop there. It goes beyond that. 50 states across the country, all over the world, we have Flames that support us every day. And I know that they're all very eager to show the world what Chicago and what UIC is made of. So in the video piece we're going to look at here just a moment, you'll see the first, it's narrated by Curtis Granderson, one of our truly distinguished alumni. 16-year Major League Baseball veteran, a Chicago businessman, philanthropist, a native and a product of Chicago's public schools. And today, no doubt, is the dawn of a new era for the Flames, and we're here and ready to fire up the Valley.
In 1871, the Great Chicago Fire left the city in ruins. But out of those glowing embers, a fire was born. A city built on grit and resilience. Brick by brick, the future was bright. UIC rose out of the ashes, a sleeping giant. Today, that giant has awoken.
5 seconds. Here comes Martell Bailey for the win on the way. It's the car. It's 3 at the buzzer. It's good. It's good. UIC wins. UIC wins. Oh my!
6-2 in the third, and UIC, your conference champions.
The Flames for the 10th time in program history win a Horizon League championship. A three-peat for the Flames as they're headed back to the NCAA tournament yet again.
In the pursuit of excellence in academics and athletics, the Flames enter a new era. With 75 conference championships and 47 NCAA tournament appearances, the Flames embody Chicago's toughness. UIC has already set the city on fire. Are you ready to fire up the Valley?
Gives you chills, doesn't it? Here to formally accept the invitation to join the Missouri Valley Conference and provide additional comments, Chancellor Michael Amiridis.
This is a great day, not only for the Flames and the athletic department, but for the entire university. We have been talking about the Valley since the day that I arrived here, and I know the discussions go back even before my arrival here. We have been talking about the Valley with Jim Smith, with Garrett Classy, with Michael Lipitz, the athletic directors that I know. We have been talking about the Valley with our most loyal fans and our alumni as well, the most successful alumni from the athletic program. We have been talking about the Valley earlier this year when the word got out that maybe there is an opportunity to add new members in the Valley. And certainly, we have been talking a lot with the Valley when the opportunity showed itself. And I can tell you, I can share this, I asked Commissioner Jackson if I can do it. The day that the opportunity opened up here was obvious to us. In the second week of November, I texted him and I said, Commissioner, we're still in Chicago and we're still very interested in the Valley. And the reasons are very, very clear. We want an even stronger intercollegiate athletic program as a rallying point for all of our students and as a portal for our alumni to come back and reconnect with their university and for our future students to come in and understand what this university is all about. We are joining the second oldest conference in the country, a nationally recognized and very competitive conference. And by doing so, we expect that we will raise the bar and will be challenged to be even better than we are. And we are up to the challenge. We are also joining the Valley with strong assets. It's the history of our athletics department. It's the role of this university. It is the R1 university, the public university of Chicago, the public research university of Chicago, and at the same time, this is one of the top 25 ranked public universities across the country. And I'm not saying this, the Wall Street Journal and the Times of Higher Education say this. And we want also every year to compete with our sister institutions in Illinois, with Southern Illinois, with Illinois State, with Bradley, and also with our neighboring institutions, with Valpo, with Indiana State as well. We do have graduates in Bloomington Normal, in Carbondale, in Peoria, and they want to see us there. And at the same time, they have a lot of their graduates in Chicago, and we want to see them in our arena and in our courts and in our fields. I want to thank especially the presidents of these universities and the presidents and chancellors because they advocated for us, and specifically our two sister institutions in the state, Austin Lane and Terry Kinsey, Chancellor Lane and President Kinsey. I spoke to both of them yesterday on the phone, and they're very excited to see the University of Illinois at Chicago joining the Valley. So this has been a long-term aspiration for our athletics department and a priority for me and for the athletic department during my tenure here. I'm delighted, I'm thrilled that we are reaching this point today. Commissioner Jackson, thank you for your invitation. We're very proud to be part of the Missouri Valley Conference and especially this new class of institutions of the year 2022. And we are going to compete, and I promise the athletic director that the next time that we are in the final in St. Louis, I'll be there. Congratulations to all, and go Flames.
Thank you, Chancellor Amiridis, for your comments today here, but just as importantly for your leadership and your advocacy as the role college athletics plays in a great institution of higher learning. Next, we have the pleasure to hear from a leader who, while relatively new to the Missouri Valley Conference, brings over 35 years of experience in college athletics. Among those experiences include 7 as an executive with the Big South and Big 12 Conference, and nearly 30 years on the bench as a men's college basketball coach, 10 of those as the head coach at Furman University and at New Hampshire. The leader of the Missouri Valley Conference, Jeff Jackson.
Well, I'm just happy I didn't have to run in, when the cheerleaders and band were going. That would have been hard for me. But first, let me thank Chancellor Amiridis and Michael Lipitz for all their work. This has been a whirlwind romance. It happened pretty quickly, and we're excited about bringing this to such a positive conclusion. I also want to thank Tim Killeen, president of the University of Illinois System. We did have the chance to visit with him. He was very helpful, very thoughtful in his expression about what he thought UIC could be in the Valley, and that gave us great comfort in moving forward with this decision. It's kind of interesting. I really, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, did not know very much about UIC. I did know what the acronym stood for, but had never been here before, didn't have an understanding of the institution, the prestige that it has academically, the impact that it has in the Chicago community. All those things were kind of foreign to me, and Michael Lipitz was good enough to send me a PowerPoint a couple months back, and I'm kind of going through the PowerPoint, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty good. This is kind of interesting. So I sent it to my council, and the way this works is, commissioners probably get more credit than they deserve and probably get more blame than they deserve. Luke, they're kind of like coaches, in terms of what's going on and those type of things. And we're looking at this, and we're like, this is great. This is a fantastic place. And you, being in this audience, you've experienced this already. You already know what UIC is. But I didn't. And when you get in here and you look at the physical plant, you look at the academic prestige, you look at its influence in the community of Chicago, one of the vibrant cities, not just in the country, but in the world. You look at its diversity. And maybe most importantly to us, you look at the leadership that they have on campus. And you know that as the Missouri Valley Conference, we have made an outstanding choice in inviting UIC to join our conference, because the things that the people here hold dear in terms of the success of their student athletes on and off the court, the success of their student athletes career-wise as they move forward, the type of experience that they want their student athletes to have on a day-to-day in terms of competing against the best, having the best resources, having the best opportunities to be complete, wholesome individuals, that exists here, and that very much aligns with the principles and the tenets of what makes the Missouri Valley Conference an extremely special place. So without question, it's with a great deal of enthusiasm and further that we accept the, we already did the invitation, but we accept your acceptance of joining the Missouri Valley Conference. I know we're going to have a chance to do a Q&A later, but the Missouri Valley Conference cannot be more excited about having UIC as a new member. And we look forward to seeing all of you in the very near future at Arch Madness and Hoops in the Heartland in St. Louis and Moline, Illinois, and wish you the best of success as you finish up your spring season this year. Look forward to talking to you later today.
Commissioner, we appreciate you being here today, and certainly for your leadership throughout this process, which, as you mentioned, was swift, but obviously successful as we're all here today. I know our entire team at UIC, both from an institutional standpoint and athletics, looks forward to a really successful transition and working hard to make the Valley maintain among the elite leagues in all of college athletics. Finally, we have the opportunity here to hear from the Flames Director of Athletics, Michael Lipitz. Michael came to UIC approximately 2.5 years ago, and that was following over 2 decades of experience in progressively senior level roles at the University of Maryland and North Carolina State University, both, of course, in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Since arriving in Chicago, he's spearheaded a myriad of key initiatives, among them a renovation of this building, several areas here in the Flames Athletic Center, which we sit, a $4.8 million project that's ongoing right over here over my left shoulder with the Flames Field Soccer Stadium, which is due to open here in the summer. And then the launch of the Flames Leadership Institute, a very innovative program that provides comprehensive programming both in the areas of leadership and personal development for all of our 300 student athletes. In addition, he's a former student athlete himself, having played tennis at the University of Maryland, so no one understands the value and the place of the student athlete experience more than him. UIC Director of Athletics, Michael Lipitz.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate the kind words and you emceeing today and all the work that you and our entire external operations team and facility staff and everyone who pulled this celebration event together. Appreciate the hard work. Good morning from me as well. Welcome to the Flames Athletic Center. Warm welcome on this cold day, and welcome to those joining us on the ESPN stream as well. There are many, many people, a number of whom have already been mentioned, who deserve thanks for helping the Flames arrive at this seminal moment. I'm going to highlight just a few if you'll indulge me. First, Commissioner Jackson, thank you to you, to the Valley, the board, for the opportunity to join the Missouri Valley Conference as its 12th member institution. On behalf of our 300 student athletes, our 100 coaches and athletic staff, and our Flames family of fans everywhere, we are fired up to join the Missouri Valley Conference. Chancellor Amiridis, I want to thank you personally for the opportunity to lead this athletics program, for your leadership and your unwavering support of our Flames department and our student athletes. You and our university's senior leadership team truly embrace the role that intercollegiate athletics plays as part of our university. It is absolutely foundational to our success, and I congratulate you on this landmark achievement. Bill Merchants, appreciate you being here today. As was mentioned, as I think Frank said, our first scholarship men's basketball player and our strongest supporter a big part of helping make a reality the building that we're sitting in, and so much more for the Flames over the years. I thank you for being here today, Bill. I want to thank Curtis Granderson, who was mentioned earlier, did a great job narrating the intro video. Curtis is not just among the greatest to ever wear the fire engine red and navy blue, but he's a tremendous ambassador for the university and for the Flames. Appreciate his engagement throughout this membership process. The Chancellor mentioned my predecessors, the former athletic directors. I want to thank them and recognize them. Bill Rotzheim, who is the person who led the transition for the Flames into Division I. Tom Russo, Jim Schmidt, Garrett Classy, everyone played a part in terms of laying the foundation for reaching this moment today. To our athletic staff, you've worked tirelessly over many weeks, even though this did come together pretty quickly. You put in a lot of hard work and effort to reach this point. I really appreciate your commitment and your dedication. And most importantly, our current student athletes, our former student athletes, our letter winners, it's really your hard work, your achievement that are most directly responsible for arriving at this moment today. Thank you for your collective contributions over the decades. Before we talk a little more about the Valley, I do want to acknowledge our proud history in the Horizon League. It's been a real privilege for me, for us, for all of our student athletes and coaches and staff to play a role in the tradition and success of the Horizon League for almost 3 decades now. We've created some terrific rivalries, we've built tremendous relationships, and we will treasure those as we move forward into next year in the Valley. Our student athletes at present, though, are very much looking forward to completing the winter and spring seasons in this 28th and final year as a member of the Horizon League. As Frank mentioned, this is our 40th year of Division I athletic competition. In the big picture in intercollegiate athletics, we're still a young athletics program, and in a relatively short amount of time, we've achieved a great deal. As you saw in the video, 75 conference titles, 47 NCAA tournament appearances. Frank mentioned academically, our student athletes are knocking it out of the park. A 3.4 GPA and a 91% graduation rate, and I would submit that we are just scratching the surface. The very best is yet to come for Flames athletics. The Missouri Valley is among the nation's oldest and most well-known athletic conferences. It has a rich tradition of athletic success, academic achievement, and it provides an elevated stage to showcase our institution, our athletics program, and the talents of our student athletes. And with the continued support of our institutional and system leadership, we are poised to build an athletics program of comprehensive excellence, one that will represent both UIC and the Missouri Valley Conference with distinction for years and years to come. We have and we will invest in our facilities, in our programs, and most importantly, in our people. Let me be clear that we embrace the challenge ahead of us. We embrace the challenge of the Valley. Our group is excited for the work that lies ahead of us because we're not joining simply to participate. We're coming to compete, and we're coming to win. UIC's move to the Valley will be the spark that ignites the Flames to fulfill our full potential. UIC is ready to fire up the Valley. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, both for your comments and of course, for your stewardship of our athletics program and your vision that no doubt will put us in a great place here, especially now that we have this fantastic new platform from which to compete. What a day, huh? What a historic day for UIC and the Flames. As Michael mentioned, we're excited and we're ready to go toe-to-toe with the best the Valley has to offer and compete and win. And I know here we'll have many moments that we'll celebrate just like this in the future. A few housekeeping items here as we wrap up. First, for members of the media who are here, we'll have the opportunity for one-on-ones with each of our speakers on the dais, as well as head men's basketball coach Luke Yaklich. Chancellor Amiridis and Commissioner Jackson will be here on stage. Michael and Luke will be over here on our auxiliary setup just over to my right, to your left. Also, if you do have an interest in arranging time with one of our other head coaches or student athletes from a variety of our programs, I want to make sure you get in touch with Dan Yapchik and Dan Wallace in our athletics communications department, and they'll help arrange that, whether that be in person or virtually. And finally, for those of you who are here to celebrate and don't have a working function, which is great, we appreciate you being here. We have a reception set up over here in my far right corner, your far left, with some light refreshments, and I know many of our student athletes who are here, and we thank you for being here. I know if you didn't have class and you didn't have practice, that those times are very, very, very short. So thank you for sharing part of your day with us. But certainly I encourage you to spend some time with our coaches and get to know them a little bit if you haven't had that opportunity. Likewise, we have some materials over there that can let you know how you can get involved and support UIC, whether that's as a donor, becoming a member of the Flames Athletic Fund, or to secure your UIC basketball tickets for our inaugural season in the Missouri Valley Conference starting this fall. That's got a pretty good ring to it, doesn't it? That's got a pretty nice ring, let me tell you. So with that concludes today's festivities. Again, I want to thank everyone for being here, our student athletes, the band, our spirit squad, Sparky, great job, Sparky. And certainly, as I mentioned, we hope that this is the first of many celebrations, many opportunities we have to get together like this as a Flames family to celebrate successes and look forward to the future. Certainly, we're ready to fire up the Valley. Band, take it. Thank you, everybody.